Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same Spirit. Lord willing that you all can continue to endure and be sincere, singing the same song. Shalom to the Akwatiyam, believers of his faith and his truth. Lord willing you continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving, a son, and virtuous wife. And Lord willing the most have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in faith. Right? This just came to mind. How you see the title, get in order, get in line. Remember, Yahawashi is not meeting us, not meeting Esau, not meeting any nation on this earth as a man. He is coming with power and the glory that he had before the foundations of the heavens and the earth. You know, and I was going to play the background of this video from the brother that I kind of lambied off of yesterday. His page name, before I read the title of the video, so I can wait for it to load. GMS Tazaba Amath 3. And the title of his lesson was, "It's Going to Get Hot in Babylon." And I was going to use this picture for the video, but I know I wasn't going to bring this out yet. Let it just sink in, because when Babylon falls, what is coming with Babylon falling? Right? The appearance of Yahawashi. Right? The grand opening. I don't know if y'all seen boxing, UFC, when they got the music and then they come out. You know, Yahawashi is going to make a grand entrance. Right? And if we say that we believe, right, if we say that we fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi, through the Spirit, you know, our actions, how we think, the decisions that we're making should show that we fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi, which real fearing of the Lord is reverence, the high respect, and to be terrified. You know, the Heavenly Father through Yahawashi made everything you see, air that you cannot even see, and you breathe in it. It's over, y'all. You know, even though we got to work, we got to handle business, things is happening, when the Lord is allowing this time to come, like these tariffs is going to affect us. We're the consumers. Everybody in their mama is living in the story of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi, regardless if they believe it or not. For you brothers and sisters that is in this truth, and you know and you say you is in this truth, and the Lord using you, this is a privilege to be in this fucking thing, man. It's a privilege. It is a privilege. You know, sometimes you got to even rebuke yourself. You know, we make mistakes, but we still got to keep on going. People is getting removed out of this truth quick. Don't you? It's more people going into the spirit. Like, I seen 5 people last night, young Jake, going right in the spirit world, doing the dumb shit. When you watch the movie Sinners, we just in that same freaking dumbass cycle. Right? play games if you want with Yahawashi. You don't got too long. So Lord willing, we can paint this picture within ourselves. And even in the time of, when the apostles, when Yahawashi was telling the disciples that he was going to die and that he was supposed to rise, they couldn't even recognize who he was, because this man was changing his image, right? He was having that, like how angels, when they come down, they change their image, they form. They couldn't even recognize who he is. That's just a little taste. Then the shockness, oh man, oh, you there. Him coming and rising, we just seen this man die on the cross. Some people at that time didn't even get to see him, didn't even get to come across that he was alive. And then when he went to the Father, the men of the Lord was teaching in Acts the 5th chapter. They said, man, don't teach in this man's name or his blood gonna be upon us. The name was even powerful. It's dreadful unto the wicked. You get flashbacks on, damn, we hung this person. I thought if we hang him, what is it? 50 Cent. I'm just using this as an example. When they so-called shot 50 Cent, the one dude that didn't shoot him, he was telling the DJ, man, why you playing his music, man? We dead that nigga, man. I don't want to hear the nigga I killed. Man, hours later, this man coming in, the man walking in the club, and then they see that this man is not dead. Yahawashi is the son of Yahweh, right? And him coming on the earth is already the sign of that kingdom. And then him coming back and being with them for 40 days. Acts the 1st chapter. For 40 days. And all he was doing was speaking of the kingdom. The kingdom is the good news. The kingdom starts with Yahawashi. It ends with Yahawashi. Actually, first, let's get that. Let's get Hebrews, the 12th chapter, real quick. This is Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 1. Verse 2 is the point. It says, wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doeth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us, looking unto Yahawashi, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. Right? Yahawashi is the author and finisher of our faith. Yahawashi is sitting right next to Yahweh, waiting on his turn, waiting on his time to come back down here. Right? The elect is eager to get out of here. Yahawashi is eager to come back down here to save us, let alone to bring forth vengeance. And we're going to go to Isaiah the 47th chapter actually right now. I was going to bring out the John first, but it's hitting my mind. This is Isaiah 47:3. It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, the shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. Right? He's not going to meet us as a man, but let's just get this word, vengeance.
Strong's H 5359. Not calm. Not calm.
So not Salaki.
Nekama. Nekama.
And what I got here is Naquam. Vengeance or avenge. Vengeance, the Strong's definition is revenge or avenged. Now we know in Luke where he said that he will avenge his elect. Just like the movie Avengers, he will avenge his elect. But all of this stems with revenge. What is it in Zechariah 3:2-8? Whoever touched the children of Israel touched the apple of the Lord's eye. He is a very jealous power. Let alone even with Jake, you 2/3. He is jealous because you did not serve him, so you're going to have to get destroyed on this side. Ain't no hug and kisses. We should be hearing of the terror of the Lord, the day of the Lord. And while we got a chance to get things right, it's supposed to move you in a sufficiency to actually pleasing the Lord as a man, as a woman, but truly as a man of the Lord, because the men of the Lord have a bigger role in this thing. We talking about the ones that's actually teaching, starting from how the Lord established it all the way to where we at now. And when you read from Yahawashi all the way to like the book of Acts, and then, leading on all the way till we get to Revelations, even the apostles had disciples, and those true disciples were disciples of Yahawashi. So you had people appointed for being gathered at the time when Yahawashi was on the earth. Then when Yahawashi came back on the earth and was on the earth for 40 days, he allowed some people to see him. And then when he left, even some believers, men and women, even children, started following the apostles because they were believing in Yahawashi. And then the ministry just kept growing and growing. So all of y'all, regardless how the Lord started with Abba Bibbins, then going in this period, and then the apostle Tahar, really is the top elder, in this ministry, right through the Spirit, man. And then look where we at now, where the Lord is just bringing the men of the Lord back in their order, right? And the true order is singing the same song, no division. Now, some of us might stumble and we're cleaving to other people. Guess what? That's what happened, for us to get cleansed. Paul was saying, let there be no division, be of one mind, right? And so we had to hear through the Spirit the prophets the disciples that was with Yahawashi, and hear what they were saying. And we got to make sure our teaching is in line with them. And the more we grow, the more that we're in tune with the sound doctrine, the more we grow, the more your mind frame. Brothers is not just only doing chapter lessons. Brothers is not just only bringing out prophecies, right? Brothers is not just only bringing out the dark sayings. Brothers is not just only doing sincere milk. Brothers is not only doing parables. Brothers is going to grow and grow, that they're teaching the whole volume of the book. They even going back to the basics, because the Lord is planting seeds every day. He's using the men of the Lord to plant, water, and he's making it grow. So really, every lesson is documented in the heavens. Before you do a lesson, is already programmed for you to do it, just like this one. This wasn't written down like the other ones I did a few days ago. This was all either premeditated off of one verse or one thought. Hearing a lesson, it's like, oh, I got to do a lesson on this because this brother just said that. And another brother might do a lesson because he's seen a video or a news clip, and then that video, and if it comes out, it was orchestrated by the Lord, especially if he's moving in the spirit of Yahawashi. Vengeance is coming by the hand of Yahawashi, right? And the Lord is setting this up. So I'm going to hold that verse, the precepts for the word vengeance. See if I go back to it, if not. So now let's get into this point where people actually were seeing Yahawashi. This is St. John, the 20th chapter, in verse 11. It says, and Mary stood without at the sepulchre, weeping. And as she wept, she stooped down and looked into the sepulchre, seeth two angels in white sitting, the one at the head and the other at the feet, where the body of Yahawashi had lain. And they say unto her, Women, why weepest thou? She saith unto them, Because they have taken away my Lord, and I know not where they have led him. And when she had thus said, she turned herself back and saw Yahawashi standing, and knew not that it was him. So if she was already around Yahawashi when he was living, he don't got no scars on him, how she did not know that it was him, right? Because his image changed. Like, even when the Lord was on the earth, he was doing some miracles, using some of his abilities, just like turning water into wine, right? To that good wine, healing people. But then he gave you a taste of where you couldn't even recognize him, but it was him, right? Just like how Abraham was in the presence of Yahawashi with the three angels. The angel was a majestic angel, right? Just like in Azariah, Hananiah, and Mishael in the furnace in the hands of the Babylonians, they said they see a fourth person in there, like the Son of Man, what did he look like? He just looked like the Son of Man. You know, the power of Yahawashi is not limited, is limitless. Or let me make sure I'm saying it. Yeah, it's limitless. Hold on, let me make sure. I don't want to lower the standard or the ability of Yahawashi. Hold on, wait a second. Hold on, let's get this word. Limitless. Limitlessness. So if it's a limit, it's boundaries. Hold on. Limitless, without end, without limit, without boundary, boundless. Right? So Yahweh Bashim Shai power is limitless. If that's the case, we should be fearing the Lord more now. The more you get in this truth, the more you grow. You should be fearing the Lord more now. You seen like Yarmaya, he was just bringing it up that it was brothers in Great Millstone for 8 years. They had a freaking rank, a captain, or so whatever. I forgot the title. Salaki, forgive me, y'all. But they've been in this thing for 8 years under the same sound doctrine, teaching, getting in there. And the Lord spit them out like spit, blew their candle out faster than it was lit. That is a scary thing, you know? Regardless if me and my brother's been in this for 7 or 8. You know, the same that you were brought in this, the Lord can take you out with a mighty hand. Right? You be thinking you going in the right direction. The Lord could be sending you in a direction where you ain't coming back. I seen brothers that was in this thing, so-called in this thing, because they wasn't in this thing if they removed, and they couldn't even remember their Hebrew name. The Lord power is limitless. It is time to actually be more scared than ever, because now that you see the way that Babylon is moving, is in shambles. Like after the sea biscuit, the vacuum cleaner in the arm, when that came, most people, you were able to walk down in my city, you was able to go down to Bailey and it was lit. Go to other places. Yo, the sea biscuit changed a lot, but it was really an eye opener because that was an experiment. And ever since that, they've been making moves. Right? You got the rich, which like a person that was dealing with computers, buying all farms, trying to pay out farmers so they can buy land. Then they making computerized food. Then they allowing you to eat human food. Things is getting shaky, and this visual that you should be seeing with a spiritual eye is not like you better fucking run. This is the like when you watching a movie and you see it's playing out. Yo, we almost at the end of this movie. You know, like when you even at home watching a movie and you can click the button to see how much time you got left. That's that example. You get to see the signs. Matthew 16, verse 1-4. You know, the Pharisees was looking for a sign. You know, he was calling them a wicked generation because they're looking for a sign. And then even if you get a sign you're not going to believe, but you already have the sign of Jonah, which is really symbolic to Yahawashi, you know, dying on the cross, and, you know, being dead, you know, through the spirit 3 days and 3 nights and then rising, right? But in another example of Jonas is the men of the Lord shaking the hand to that great city Babylon. You know, the power of the Lord is limitless. This is where things is getting shaky, right? So let me get back to it. So John 20:14, she saw Yahawashi, but did not know that it was Yahawashi. 15, Yahawashi saith unto her, Women, why weepest thou? Whom seekest thou? She supposing him to be the gardener, saith unto him, Sir, if thou have borne him thence, tell me where thou hast laid him, and I will take him away. Yahawashi saith unto her, Mary. She turned herself and saith unto him, Rabboni, which is to say, Master. Yahawashi saith unto her, Touch me not, for I am not yet ascended to my Father, but go to my brethren, and say unto them, I ascend unto my Father and your Father, into my God and your power. Now, he said, go to my brethren. Now, we know in Mark 3 and 35, when he said, oh, your brethren, your mother, and your brother is here. He said, my brother and my sister and my mother is those that do the will of my Father. So through the Spirit, when you really look at the disciples, they are the example of the elect. They are the example of the 144,000, because he said, in my kingdom, you will sit on 12 thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. The 12 disciples through the Spirit is the 12 judges, and they're back on the earth again. You know, if one of them, two of them in the spirit world, but they're on the earth doing the same thing over again, teaching his word. And then you have the rest of the 144,000, which are mighty men, men of valor, you know, under David, right? Some of them in the ancient world was probably soldiers, but those mighty men through the Spirit are teachers, right? Because we're not a men of swords in war like in the time of David, like in the time of Saul. We're in a spiritual war. So now, instead of us picking up a sword and a knife and a gun, right now the Lord is holding back that power within us and allowing us to be spiritual valor men, right? We're spiritual soldiers in this thing. Timothy speak on it, right? Endure as a soldier of Hamashiach Yahawashi. And you women, some women, either married to them or you're learning under the foot of those soldiers. You know, that should be more scary for you to know. Sometimes when you arguing, if you look sideways, when you speaking, when this man telling you this, and you feel like it's always you complain. I'm talking about any woman. When that time really come, you're going to feel so shameful when this time really come, when these men are exposed as the chosen. Second Ezra, the 16th chapter. In that day, they gonna know that those is my chosen. Right? Let me get that real quick because I spoke on it. Right? This is a beautiful point. This is Second Ezra, the 16th chapter, starting at verse 73. I'll start at 71 because this one it gets real. 70, it says, for then shall be great insurrection. Right? It's gonna be chaos or a civil war, right, in this country against the neighboring cities because of them that fear Yahweh. They shall be like madmen sparing none, and those madmen is Esau, to abduct and hide them that still fear Yahweh, right? So it's going to be a spirit on these elites, on Esau, to afflict the true believers and the teachers of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi. It's showing it right here that they're going to be against the ones that fear the Lord. All you ones that don't fear the Lord, they already got you wrapped around their finger. You mean nothing, right? Because look, when you go to, when you look at Jeremiah, when he was prophesying to Zedekiah, he didn't freaking listen. Him, his sons, and his guards, they got killed, and his Zedekiah got his eyes taken out. He let Jeremiah go, right? You elect is going to be spared. That's the mercy of the Lord, because you were called in this thing for your profession to serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi. But the rest of y'all, you're going to be destroyed as nothing on this side, right? Because you chose to be that lot. Verse 72, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Get ready for that. And this is in prophecy. So the Lord gave us the cheat code that this is going to happen. I don't care how much freaking money you got. I don't care what status. I don't care if you 6'2". An Israelite man, a man of the Lord that's probably 5'2" is better than 1,000 niggas on this side with money, height, and flavor. Right? One man that's teaching his word, pushing his word as the man of the Lord is better than 1,000 men on this side that's rich, that probably got all different type of flavor women, different type of cars, anything that a normal man on this side will want. One man of the Lord is better than 1,000 of you niggas. Right? So verse 73, it says, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. So even in that time, the chosen is going to be known in the midst of where brothers is at, right? Where you at, and when this chaos going on, it's going to even hit your mind that those people that you thought was on the corner with a damn blanket was bugged out. You going to know that those is the men of the Lord. Now, because I'm bringing this out, I'm going to say something, and don't take it too serious, right? This is just, I had a daydream at work, and I told Yahawashi this, and this how this verse just said, then shall they be known who are my chosen. So I had a daydream that I don't know if anybody on this that's watching this now or later know about the Christmas Carol with that dude that was always angry and was negative during so-called Christmas, and some spirit took him and gave him took him out of his body. He had an outer body experience, and he was traveling around different people, uh, around different people, revolved around his life or whatever it is. I can't remember it too well, right? I had that experience at work. I was daydreaming, and I was seeing me, Yarmayan, Sam, and Asher, right? Those are the ones that I could see that I labor with. I labor with Bashar too, and David, but I could only see Yarmayan, Sam, and Asher. They was all on the left of me. Then we looking to the right. Apostle Tahar is next to me on my right hand side. Apostle Gabar, Apostle Remlab, Apostle Rakai, and it's all in order. I'm seeing Elder Yashawamba. I'm seeing even all the brothers that I do watch on YouTube and brothers that I haven't even came across and watched. I seen all of sincere. These were sincere brothers, not nobody that's lacking, slacking, saying GMS. I just knew everybody that was standing there was sincere in their lot, and we were all together just in a whole foul line. And me, Yarmayan, and Sam, while we were standing next to the apostles, we seeing all the brothers we came across, people we was teaching, and you have brothers that you either thought was fire or whatever. And when this time was coming, they was looking for the brothers that they was laboring. They was looking for us, like, man, y'all gotta go get these brothers, man. And they could not find us. They could not find us. But before we kept going to every scene and every person, we was seeing the people that was laboring under Apostle Tahar from the beginning, when he was around the other elders and the other men, when One West, Apostle Gabar. We was seeing all the men, even women that they was around. And we was seeing how they was looking for these brothers at their camp spot in all different cities, New York, Boston, Niagara Falls, and everywhere where these sincere brothers is teaching at, you seen people trying to look for them and they could not find them, right? So then Apostle Tahara is about to speak, and the scenery changed. So now, because they couldn't find us, then it got pushed for, you got to take the MOTB had to come. So all these people that was looking for us couldn't find us. They was like, hey, look, we don't see the men of the Lord. And they did not even think of no scriptures. They was like, we don't see the men of the Lord. So is this the Lord telling us that we should take the MOTB? Ain't nothing wrong with it. Apostle Tahar, I'm telling you, is Yarmayan, Sam, and Asher on the left of me. Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Remlab, all the other sincere men that I watch and that I don't watch that's in Great Millstone. I've seen Elder Yashawan, but all of them standing all on the right. And Apostle Tahar said, they're gonna actually take the MOTB, right? They was never in this. Yo, like it was like he was teaching all over again, but he was calling it as it was. It was pushed that people had to take the MOTB. He's saying, look, they're going to take it. They're going to take this because they can't come back in this thing. It's over. And I'm telling you, every face that was lined up, from Asher to Sam to Yarmayan and me, we looking to the right to Apostle Tahar while he talking, and everybody that's on the right of him is looking to the left while he talking. He's the main person talking. He's just talking of what's gonna happen after he get done talking. And it was a minute. I didn't get every word. I just know he said, look, they gonna take the MOTB because they can't see us. And the craziest thing, the scene that we were seeing, we were there watching every person we labor with. We were seeing them right there and then. This was not another dream, we were seeing them, but wherever they was at, they couldn't see us because we was in a spiritual body watching them. And since they couldn't see us, they turned around. Then they went to go take, from what I believe from that scenery, the MOTB. Out of nowhere, we all popped back into our own body. They in their city, so I couldn't see Apostle Tahar and none of them because we're all in our natural bodies wherever we at. Sam is probably at his house, wherever he's at, and wherever I'm at. So then, out of nowhere, I think all of us, individual, wherever brothers is at, they're moving in the city, and brothers and sisters, whoever that we seen, start coming up. Man, we were looking for you. And I know as a unit, the same thing that me and the brothers said is the same thing that Apostle Tahar and all the other sincere brothers were saying. You know, we said we seen you, you didn't see us. You took the charagma. They saying, how do you know? And crying, like I literally seen mad people crying. Like I just in that daydream, I know everybody that was in that spiritual moment, from Yarmayan, Sam, Asher, me, Apostle Tahar, and all the other sincere men. That's a great millstone. And other men that's sincere that's gonna be singing the same song. Like I couldn't see everybody's face. They was in there too, all sincere, true men that was singing the same thing. We all said the same thing when all these people came. We saw y'all, but you didn't see us. You took the charagma. They just bugged out crying, and we knew that they took it, and we left. So in the same, 2nd Esdras 16 verse 73, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire, and we didn't take it. So now when we in reality, we seen that that we took it, and after we said this, I popped right back in reality, and I told Yarmayan, but if we're going to be tried, all those people is going to either bump against us, you know, because we have to go through the same thing as Yahawashi. It's not going to be peaches and roses. This is a scary moment for all the men of the Lord that's teaching in this thing. You know, you still, even if it's a scary moment, you still leaning on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi. But this is supposed to put more engine, more fuel in your spirit to go harder for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi. You know, you got to make your call and election sure on this thing. Lord willing, you understood that and it made sense to you. So back to St. John, the 20th chapter, verse 18. Mary Magdalene came and told the disciples that she had seen the Lord and that he had spoken these things unto her. Then the same day at evening, being the first day of the week, when the doors were shut, where the disciples were assembled for fear of the Jews, came Yahawashi and stood in the midst, and saying unto them, Peace be unto you. And when he had so said, he showed unto them his hand and his side. Then were the disciples glad, and when they saw the Lord, then said Yahawashi to them again, Peace be unto you, as my Father hath sent me, even so send I you. Right? The Heavenly Father sent Yahawashi. Yahawashi sent the men of the Lord. That's the example. The disciples is example of all the men of the Lord. You were sent. This goes back to the lesson yesterday. You were sent to be a part of this profession. We can't waver in this thing. And really, the elect can't waver. Jeremiah in multiple, but Jeremiah is an example. He said, I'm not going to speak in your name no more, Lord. Man, a few minutes later, the Lord put a fire in him, and it had to spew out. He had to speak the name of the Lord. Speak the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi. That shows that when you picked, you picked. That's why the elect can't get removed out of this thing. The 2/3 can't get brought in this thing. Somebody can be in this thing for a moment and the Lord use you, and then you remove, you was never in this. Because every person in this thing and out of this thing is being used by the Lord. Esau, you being used by the Lord to bring forth what he wants. You know? So verse 22, it says, and when he had said this, he breathed on them and saith unto them, Receive ye the Rakakwadash, because they believed. Right? That goes with St. John, the 7th chapter. The 7th chapter, verse 38 to 39. You know, those that believe in him is going to get the Rakakwadash. St. John 14, 15, 16, the Lord is going to send you the Comforter, right, in his son's name. Right? The Comforter through the Spirit is Yahawashi. Verse 23, whosoever sins ye remit, they are remitted unto them. And whosoever sins ye retain, they are retained. But Thomas, one of the 12 of Didymus, was not with them when Yahawashi came. The other disciples therefore said unto him, we have seen the Lord. But he said unto them, except I shall see in his hands the print of the nails, and put my finger into the print of the nails, and thrust my hand into his side, I will not believe. And just through the Spirit, even though later on Thomas seen Yahawashi, but just that is the example with Jake now. Put in I'm gonna believe in the Lord unless I see him. It just as a side example, no Jake on this side is gonna, you can't plan for yourself to get this at the last minute. If the Lord planned you to get this at the last minute and you repent, you're gonna get it. But of course, you're gonna be ashamed that you didn't take this serious when you had it in front of you. Everybody not gonna get lucky with that. That's why we only see Thomas with that example. Everybody not gonna get lucky to even have a chance to come back in this thing. Like Republicans and harlots, prostitutes, is gonna get saved before a lot of us. Why? Is because they faith. Some of you women are gonna believe, and you're gonna cleave to the man of the Lord just off a June bug. And it might seem like it's really the last minute. The Lord really brought you in this thing. Most men and women on this side are gonna have to get humbled through the Spirit, because some of y'all can't get it now. So the Lord gonna humble you when shit start hitting the fan. You know, and that's not for everybody. Some people might think that they gonna get it right when the MOTB comes. Some of y'all not. But the Lord gonna have mercy on a few of you men and women, right? And the Lord gonna have mercy on you, and then you gonna come in this thing, and most of you women is gonna really because you're gonna be under the man of the Lord, right? After you realize this is it, somehow you're gonna bump into a man of the Lord, and automatically some of y'all little harlot beings is gonna be even more submissive than a woman that was walking in this faith. Because now you getting this at the last minute, the last second, you know? So so Thomas said he'll believe not unless he could put his finger and do all this extra stuff. And after 8 days again, his disciples were within, and Thomas with them. Then came Yahawashi, the doors being shut, and stood in the midst, and said, peace be unto you. Then said he to Thomas, reach hither thy finger, and behold my hands, and reach hither thy hand, and thrust it into my side, and be not faithless, but believing. So he had to do all of this in order to believe. But Yahawashi was telling him, basically do these things, man. Right? Be not faithless, but believing that it's me. Right? And Thomas answered and said unto him, my Lord, my power. Yahawashi saith unto him, Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. Blessed are they that have not seen, yet have believed. We're not going to meet Yahawashi the way he was with the disciples. We're going to meet Yahawashi in his glory, his true form. That is scary, man. You're not meeting Yahawashi like some regular smuggler. You meeting him in his glory, in his omega form, right? This is Revelations, the 1st chapter, in verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so, amen. So even the generation of the time when Yahawashi was on the earth, that same generation is going to be on the earth when Yahawashi come back. So you Pharisees that wanted him persecuted, right? You women, right? Even in the time when you was asking Peter, wasn't you with him? Right? You gonna see Yahawashi, right? All eyes, from the elect to the 2/3, and to all you other nations. You gonna see Yahawashi in his glory and in his form, right? But you Jake that's being sincere, trying to be persistent, Yahweh Ba Hashem Yahawashi is putting that spirit on you to go harder for the target. We're pressing towards the mark. Philippians, the 3rd chapter, right? That prize is Yahawashi. That mark is Yahawashi. This is not no game. Yahawashi, when Yahawashi come, that is something you ain't never seen. You better put your fear cap on right now, because it is better to be in the bosom of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahawashi instead of the hands of destruction of the hands of the Lord. Right? Let me just show you this picture. This right here is the example of the elect in the hands or the bosom of the Lord. But what is the wicked? This is a beautiful picture, man. This is being in the hands of the Lord, the bosom of the Lord. We talking about the righteous, the elect. Even though all people is in the hands of the Lord, from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. Right? But you got another, I had another one. Like, look at this one. While the elect is getting beamed up and they over on a sea of glass, it's Jake that's in the hands of the Lord that's still in those lands. America and Israel getting straight bombed. Right? You getting the worst part of the stick. You getting the worst part of the stick. It's better to be in the knowing than it's better to be in the knowing. Right? You know, we got a good thing. We got a good thing right here. You know, don't waste it away because of your damn Dodge Charger, your Chrysler 300, your Lamborghini, your damn freaking video game, your dumbass job, right? The girl next to you, is she not trying to serve the Lord? Right? You sisters that's in this faith, even if you single or not, the fear of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahawashi has to be on you. Ain't no getting away from the day of the Lord. The Lord could put you in the spirit world today if he want to. But y'all got to know, a lot of y'all, the Lord is prolonging your life. Some of y'all is probably going to get a nuke, but the Lord prolonging you. You probably got a sickness, and the Lord, nah, I ain't going to let that sickness. Look, the Lord might get that sickness just to make you weak so you can't do all that extra stuff you doing. Then those nukes come, you can't even move or run. Some of these elders, OGs, the beautiful elder ladies, back is all fucked up. You can't even move a certain way. You can't even run. The Lord prolonging a lot of y'all to be nuked. Jacob, some people are going to be seeking death and won't find it. The elders, you grown men and women. You mid-age grown men and women. You damn YN young niggas. You gonna have that mentality, kill, shoot, and all that extra shit. But when stuff really hit the fan, you ain't got no bullets. Where the last store you try to break through and get food, you ain't gonna be able to get food. You gonna come across the wrong one and you gonna go right in the spirit world. Jacob trouble is a vicious time in the world. And that's all by the hands of the Lord. When this MOTB coming, you deciding not to take it. And then even if you do take it, you still gonna have problems, man. Because you gonna have a sore just because of that MOTB. You niggas is gonna get the left, right, trigger, square, square. You know the combinations in Mortal Kombat. Up, down, square, 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 triangle. You niggas is gonna get hit with the whammy. The elect, right? You gonna have the mercy of the Lord that you gonna be able to duck and weave. Gonna take hits and blows, but the Lord is trying you. This is not no game. Yahawashi is coming back, man. Even though you seeing Jacob trouble, Yahawashi coming back. Imagine this man coming. You got the fear that you just afraid. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that Kevin Hart noise. Oh my goodness. Oh, I believe now. You didn't believe soon enough, and you seeing people get beamed up and then you not. Start peeing on yourself. I'm telling you, not ready. He wasn't ready. People really, man, think this is the game if you want to, man. Me seeing that little daydream, I said, I ain't gonna really say nothing about it. But then just seeing that doesn't mean, I'm not saying I'm the elect. I'm not saying that, from the outer apostles down, Lord willing, we say that we the hopeful elect. But at the end of the day, it's people in this thing that's doing the same thing as of old. I'm not gonna believe until I see them. Oh, I got to get things in order. Let me get my relationship. Let me get my kid. I don't even have a wife yet. Let me get my household in order. You niggas is making excuses. You don't even deserve this truth, man. I hope the Lord keep you out of this. Men and women. Anybody bring a problem to the ministry or the men of the Lord, I hope you go through even worse. You know? And it's not just me, it's in the scriptures. Anybody bumping against this truth, right? Look what people was trying to persecute, put revenge on Jeremiah. The Lord didn't let the enemy prevail against them, but guess what? They got hit. Zedekiah didn't listen to Jeremiah. Guess what happened to him? His eyes got taken out, gouged out. The people that put Ezra, Hananiah, and Mishael in the furnace, what happened to them? Yahawashi blew out that fire like Superman, and then the fire damn near torched their ass. You touching the apple of the Lord's eye on this side, which is the children of Israel, but it's the elect. You excuse my French, even though I'm not speaking French. You're fucked, man. Anybody thinking a bad thought against the men of the Lord, you women that could be thinking negative against your husband, and this man is trying to do the most if he is. I'm telling you, the Lord is going to be plaguing people's mind, right? You're gonna be, oh, I'm not good. I'm telling you, the Lord is not playing. Right? The plagues that's gonna be hit on this place is not gonna miss. We talking about missiles, right? We talking about famine, right? We even talking about the love of many shall wax cold. All of that is gonna be from the Lord, right? It's all gonna be from the Lord. So again, when we read St. John 20 and 29, when he had told him, he said, you believe because you see. He said, blessed are they that have not seen, but yet believe. Right now, we got to believe that Yahawashi is coming with that glory and that power of his Father. And that is scary, right? And so that those things, so that we'll be able to get beamed up, so that we'll be able to make it through all the trials that we have in this world, right? Believing is the main key, not law. That's your heritage. That's your custom. That's your way of life, right? Your way of living on this side, to being separate from the nations and being separate from the wicked. But your faith is what consists and gets you closer to the Lord. You have to believe that he is who he say he is. You have to believe in this. You have to believe in his name, right? When we believe in the Lord more, we start to make more sufficient moves, right? Our thought process is different. This is why brothers is always speaking about men, because they're the example of when you grow in this faith, you know, you grow different, you think different, you think more logical. Some women or children can't understand that. You're more austere, you know. The Lord set a lot of you women up to be with a man of the Lord, and this is not no funny thing. This is not about you. Truly on this side is about Yahawashi and the elect men. And you women are part of that thing, is the elect lady. Right? The fear of the Lord should be upon the whole household. Right? Jacob trouble coming. Everybody else got other thoughts going on. Or even in this moment right now, with these tariffs going on. You know? Like the elder said, get when the power go out, how you gonna warm up food? Some people got grills. You know, you better have canned good fruit. You know, you better when that refrigerator go, how you gonna keep something cold? You know. Yahawashi is not gonna meet us as a man. Let me get this one. A lot of people didn't get to see Yahawashi. This is Acts chapter 1, verse 1. The former treaties have I made of Theophilus, for all that Yahawashi began both to do and teach until the day in which he was taken up. After that, he, through the Rakakwadash, had given commandments unto the apostles whom he had chosen, to whom also he showed himself alive after his passion by many unfallible proofs, being seen of them 40 days, and speaking of things pertaining to the kingdom of God. And what is the kingdom? Kingdom is kingship. Kingship meaning the kingdom of Hamashiach Yahawashi. He was with them 40 days, really the apostles, and whoever else the Lord allow to see him. Seeing him in that spectrum, from dying, then raising up, right? And then in this time, we're going to see Yahawashi in his real glory form. In the real glory form. Let me get that in St. John 17. When he prayed to the Heavenly Father, give me that same glory I had before the heavens and the earth. This is St. John 17 in verse 5. I start at verse 4. I have glorified thee on the earth. I have finished the work which thou gavest me to do. And now, O Father, glorify thou me with thy own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was. And when he went to the Father, he got the glory that he had before the heavens and the earth, before he came on the earth. So now when Yahawashi meet us, he's going to meet us with that glory. You don't know what that's going to be, man. That's going to be, it's going to be dark. Ain't no sun, because the chariots is going to block out the damn sun. The stars is falling from the sky. That's talking about the missiles. When Yahawashi come, it's going to already be kindling, man. Let's go to Luke, the 12th chapter. It's going to already kindle when Yahawashi come. And he's going to still come with fire. Oh, it's already on fire. Oh, we don't need it. No, that's not happening. What did Queen Latifah? You're going to set it off. This is Luke chapter 12. In verse 49, it says, I come to send fire on the earth. And what will I if it already be kindled? So he's coming with fire. Even if it's already kindled. He's coming with a strong ray, right? Let me give you this in Habakkuk. You know what? I'll probably come back to that if it's the Lord's will. This is Habakkuk. Wait, Slacky, that's the wrong book. Habakkuk 3 in verse 4. It says, and his brightness was as the light. He had horns coming out of his hand, and there was the hiding of his power, right? When you read in the NLT, it says rays of light, but when you look up the etymology for the word horns in this verse.
Strong's H, 7161. Keren.
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 Horn, for that word, it goes into of rays of light, of strength, right? Figuratively, a ray of light, power, right? So just like how Elijah got beamed up, got translated up out, that was a ray to beam him up into the chariot, but it's going to be another ray that's going to come out the chariots, right? And we can actually see that in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. Second Ezra, the 13th chapter, going straight to the point. Verse 4, it says, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of the number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. And that sea is talking about Yahawashi coming from space, really coming from the fourth dimension, but space. And when he and it's really sea, and he's gonna come out, and men are gonna try to subdue them. And this is men from the four corners of the earth. And we talking about all the militant men from other countries, America, Russia, China. You know, because Russia has the most military might, not the most, but it has the most military footprint in all different countries. America is not only where the United States military is. It's in multiple countries. So all different militant men, even, you know, some of these women are going to, instead of they already shot the bombs at Babylon, they're gonna be turning and shoot and fight against Yahawashi. Verse 6, it says, but I beheld, and lo, He had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region or the place where out the hill was graven, and I could not. So that's how big this mountain that he's going to be, which is truly a chariot, right? And a mountain can go for power too, but this is a chariot Yahawashi is riding on. And Ezra's couldn't even see the end of a region. You know, you could look it up. A region could be a country or a state, you know. Verse 8, it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, yet durst fight. Man, they was afraid, but they still was fighting them. How much more us? And we not in the military, right? It says, lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword or any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burnt them up every one, so that upon of a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. That goes back into that ray of light. Them chariots, when you go back into when the Lord, or what it said, the laws was written by the finger of the Lord, that's talking about the chariot laser beam. Go watch the old 10 Commandments. You know, go watch the movie, the old 10 Commandments. And when Moses get having the commandments, the law or the commandments written, this fire, which was out of the pillar, and the pillar of fire or the pillar of clouds, those was chariots that was in them. And a fire or a finger was writing the law, the commandments. And that was just a laser beam from the chariot. You go to Ezekiel 1 and 2, the chariots are a living being with angels in it. It's a vehicle. You got vehicles on, and it's and for people that say, nah, brother, nah, you wildin'. I love being called strange and weird. But you living on earth and you're driving vehicles. Where do you think your thought process come? Your ideas. The Lord created you. You making airplanes. That's our vehicles. In the ancient world, we had chariots with horses and such and such and such. You got pets. The Lord got pets. Right? So you got to understand, if the Lord created you, he created air. He created all these things and create your damn mind. And he put the spirit on Esau, Isaiah 54:16, to make nukes. He said, I created the smith. I created the waster. The Lord did it. He used Esau to make that weapon for his benefit. So you have to understand that these chariots, this mountain that Yahawashi is on, it was created by the Lord so that the angels can ride it. They can come and go as they please to earth and leave earth. They're flying through all the different dimensions that's outside of this earth. Right? St. John 14, where Yahawashi say, I go in to prepare, wait, in my Father's house is many mansions. I go to prepare a place for you. What is he preparing? For 2,000 years, our time, it really took Yahawashi 2 days in his time to make this place. Outside of the earth, it's different things that the elect children is going to do. If the angels coming and going, and even you elect men, you know, but Israelites, but the elect men, you are angels yourself. When Yahawashi come, you're going to see power you ain't never seen before. You know, they got the government talking about chariots disabling rockets. You know, a lot of Jake, you lost in the sauce. Right now, I'm seeing a lot of shaky things in the United States happening. That is the Yahawashi coming soon, man. America been ruling as a title as America for 249 years. It's almost over. Yahawashi, the deadline is almost up, man. The deadline is almost up. I'm going to read this and then we're going to close, right? This is Luke, the 12th chapter, verse 54, going into discerning the times. And he said also to the people, when ye see a cloud rise out of the west, straightway ye say, there cometh a shower. And so it is. And when ye see the south wind blow, ye say, there will be heat, and it cometh to pass. Ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky of the earth, but how is it that ye do not discern this time? Ye, and why even of yourselves judge ye not what is right? Right, hold on. Let's get to Matthew 16, because they go with this too, saying the same thing. And he more direct with it because he's speaking to the Pharisees, saying the same thing, right? This is Matthew 16, verse 3. In the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. Ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the time? Second Ezra, the 9th chapter, right? We got to measure out the times. This is why I'm saying, the way that America is established, he said, when they were saying that Zerubbabel is the devil in them, he said, if Satan against Satan, then that means a kingdom is divided. If a kingdom divided against itself, it can't stand. And really, through the spirit, if any one of y'all not watching what's going on in America with the Democrats, the Republicans, even the elites, because not all the elites are agreeing on both sides. They all have a plan, right? And they're divided against each other. That's how America was established. They're divided against each other. Like what you see what Canada's saying, I'm going to do. All of that is orchestrated and planned. They got us really over here, got some of us really thinking, oh, Canada, this. No, it's all set up. All these billionaires taking money out of stock. This is all set up. Mr. Nice Guy put, bro, wars and rumors of war. Have you heard about the Pakistan and India now? Yeah. I just heard about that right before I did this live. Everything is orchestrated under Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahawashi, and all nations on the earth is under the hand of Esau, regardless if anybody believe it or not, because 2nd Ezra 6 and 9 is directed to Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning that followeth. The ones that's in the know, like when Pharaoh was ruling, the known lands knew. Right? When Moab was ruling, whatever that, in the book of Judges, they knew. When the Babylonians was ruling, they knew. That's why the Persian Medes had to overtake the Babylonians. Then the Greeks took over the Persian Medes. And then the Romans basically overtook the Greek empire, but it was really kind of lined up together because they both Edomites in the philosophy. So it's the same on this side. They know that Esau is in rulership. He's in a high seat. He established this currency, the way that the world is moving, and it's all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahawashi. Things is shaky, and you men and women and children that's in America, you are too mother-sucking comfortable. It's a nice day, feels good, you can work. Through the spirit, you have to be amazed. Through the spirit, you have to be excited. Through the spirit, you have to be talking about the Lord. Through the spirit, you have to be telling yourself out loud in your house, yo, the Lord about to come. The Lord about to come. Don't be putting in your mind, you got another year. You got 2 years. You got 1,000 years, 30 years, right? You got to look at the time and the signs that's right in front of you. Things are getting shaky. The Lord is about to come in any moment. But truly, to even more to know that the Lord is coming is when prophecies are coming to pass. Right now, Donald Duck, they're in a chip war. Donald Duck want to make manufacturing of semiconductors in the United States instead of going to a foreign country. right? And you got other nations trying to beat America on establishing full digital currency. In America, under the beast, that's really is Rome that's giving it its power, right? They're going to push this MOTB four corners of the whole earth. They want to have the whole earth under subjection. And you got Jake saying it's not, it's spiritual, it's sin. You think they about to go around the whole earth and tell the Chinaman, hey, what sin have you committed today? Or going to Chinese and saying, oh, do you, what spirit you have on you to buy and sell? That to me, it don't make sense. I'm just trying to use it in a way that I'm thinking that they would use it. But it's a physical device to buy and sell. You can't buy and sell unless you had this mark. They're really pushing this right in front of our mother-sucking face, But again, I don't want to hold y'all. This was just for the moment, just thinking, there's other verses we can go to. It's a scary moment that Yahawashi is not coming to meet us like a regular man. You see me, I'm a regular man. I'm a regular smuggler. Yahawashi is coming way different. Power and glory you ain't never seen, right? And if you're not on that elect list, you're destroyed. And that's the power of the Lord, where he'll prolong you and have you feeling all ease and good. And when shit hit the fan, you will actually be destroyed. Literally prolonging your life. You live in, you got an extra 10 years. You're like, man, I'm still good. And then out of nowhere, Jacob trouble come, you die the first day. Or say you getting all agony, you getting the worst in Jacob's trouble. Then the Lord come, and then you die when he come. You get a nuke right on your head. The Lord really prolonging a lot of men, women, and children. It's a scary hour, man. With that, say the name of Yahweh, Yahawashi. Watch these lessons. Make yourselves useful. Treat yourself. Don't trick yourself. Hear the marvelous gospel of the Lord. Brothers is teaching the 100% doctrine that through the Spirit. That's who you should cleave with. Regardless, you don't have to take my word for it. I just know that the Lord is allowing me to be fed. And I'm talking about from the elder apostles on down in Great Millstone. Talking about the sincere brothers that's making the calling and diligence, teaching his word daily. And the affiliates that's singing the same songs directly under Great Millstone. Right? So with that, I want to say, call Allah Yahweh, by Hashem Yahawashi, by Hashem Rakakwadash, double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect scattered four corners of the earth in the same Spirit, Lord willing that you all continue to endure and be sincere. Shalom to the Akwat believers of this faith and this truth. Lord willing you continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing the most have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. So with that, shalom, above.